It's the Monday Morning Motivator with Magoch. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Monday Morning Motivator. Jessica Magoch, your host, next-gen sales trainer and sales leader of modern sales teams, giving you all the tips, inspiration, and advice to fuel you through the week. Now, it is snowing today in snowy Buckingham, Pennsylvania, and the kids have a 2-hour delay, and they're still sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet so they don't wake them up and they don't interrupt us. But if they do, I'm just letting you know now, you might meet my little Frankie and Tony this morning. Is that cool? And they might not look their best either right out of bed. All right, so this week, I wanted to talk to you about a few things. So as you know, if you don't know, if you do know, if it's your first time here, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Monday is the day that we set intentions for the week. We get our head in the game and we get going and start over again to accomplish our dreams. We always have a new chance on Monday to make it happen again. That's why Mondays are so important. That's why we don't do sales meetings on Fridays or Saturdays or Wednesdays or any other day of the week. Nothing is as important as Monday for you and your dreams. Hi, I see you coming in. Thanks. We're so glad to have you here. All right, so what we're gonna do today, we're gonna follow the normal procedure, set intentions, take accountability. We're gonna have our motivation, our marketing minute. I'll share with you the one thing that's working for me right now is on a marketing perspective, as well as our motivation minute. Today we're talking about money again. Money. But we're going to take it a step deeper than we did in our last meeting. And we're going to talk about how we're going to talk about money and rejection and how to get over your fear of rejection when you go out prospecting, right? That fear of saying no, what the word no really means, and how to get over it. So it's going to be jam-packed. I'm really excited about this one today. So let's get going. First, let's set intentions. Close your eyes, unless you're driving, and remind yourself, why the heck are you doing this? Why did you start this business? Why did you start selling this thing? What is the big picture here? When you first, the day that you made this decision to do this, what was on your mind? What was that fuel? Remember that, because it's really easy to forget. And having those big dreams and that fuel is what you need to get you through the hard times, okay? Because there's going to be hard times and you're going to want to quit, and you never know what's just right around the corner for you. So unfortunately, we can't see into the future, but we can prepare for the future. So all the dreams that you're putting into motion, there are things are going on to make those happen, whether you're aware of them or not. So keep the faith, and in the process, which I'm going to share more about today, but remember what you're going for in the first place. Get so bogged down in the actual activity of doing what you need to do to get where you want to be that sometimes we forget the big picture of where we're going. And then that's when it's really easy to get distracted. Oh, look, a new shiny object, a new marketing strategy. Oh, this person says it should be done this way. Oh, this person says everybody's wrong, do it this way, right? So you get distracted and you start doing other things when you had a plan. Stick to the plan. The plan might fail. That's okay. But if you never followed through with it, you're not going to know, okay? 2, let's talk about metrics. Okay, so what were your numbers this week? How many outbound, I can see the outbound. How many outbound activities did you do? How many cold calls? How many emails? How many people did you talk to at a networking event? How many people did you interact with to start generating prospects? Now, I want to remind you of something that you probably you're not going to learn until you get into my course, but you need to know this right now. So I'm going to share it with you. By the way, my program is called the Sales Launch Code. It gives you everything you need to build a business from a sales perspective. So everything from marketing, monthly marketing kits, all the way through how to set qualified appointments, close the deal, all without being icky, sleazy, and just plain annoying, right? And really applying what we have in modern technology to help make your job easier as well. So, how many outbound activities did you do? Now, I just want to slip something in here because I spoke to someone on a closing blueprint call this week that wasn't doing this, and I forgot to tell them. But it was going right for the appointment in the cold email. Don't do that. Because we're talking about, we have a funnel set up here, and you see this funnel right here. The first step is when you're doing your marketing, the whole purpose is to generate a lead, not to set an appointment. That's the next step down. So instead of going straight for the appointments, we just want to see who is struggling with the problem that we solve right now and who wants to solve it. So they're raising their hand and saying, yeah, that's me. I want to know more. But it should not be about trying to get an appointment to talk more. Okay. That first initial outreach. The second email, sure. Third email, fine. Once they've responded, you can respond and ask to set up an appointment. But your first outreach is all about identifying who has the problem and who wants to solve it. Because not everyone that has the problem you solve wants to solve it. So you can tell we're really just getting started here on Monday. My voice isn't even warmed up yet. Okay, so how many outbounds did you do? How many leads? How many of those turned to leads? How many of those turned into discovery meetings? And then how many people did you actually present your product to? How many of those went closed or entered the dreaded follow-up stage because you didn't close them? And then how referrals did you get off of those deals? Okay, so I spoke to at least 4 people this week personally, and when I asked them, what are your income goals this year? They said, I don't know, but interesting, I didn't think about that. Okay, so you didn't think about, all right, that's fine, that's fair. Maybe I was the first person to ask you to put an actual number to your goals this year, your goal in 5 years, because it's the old saying, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? So is it, what's your income goals? I don't know. And then if they do know what their income goals, then I say, well, okay, so how many sales does it take you to get there? Oh, I don't know. I never thought of it that way. Okay. Again, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there, right? And then if they do know how many sales, I say, okay, so how many people do you have to present to get that number of sales? Oh, I don't know. I never thought of it that way. Cool. Okay, so how many appointments, how many discovery meetings do you have to set to do in order to get that number of presentations? Interesting. I never thought of it that way. Cool. So many people are focused on the final result of the closed deals, but that they forget to track everything in between. Okay. And then how many leads do you have to generate to get those appointments? And then how many people do you have to talk to get that number of leads? Because if you don't know how many emails you need to send to get to a closed deal, or to get to your ultimate goal of your income goal, and of course it's not just about the money, but it's what that money means to you, right? I talk to way too many people that have really low income goals, and then what we uncover is that their income goals aren't actually much to be motivated by. It's like, if you haven't yet reached 6 figures, it's like 6 figures, right? But when you put it out on paper, it's how much would your life actually change? Well, probably not that much, because it's not, maybe, not much more right now that your lifestyle is not going to change dramatically. So maybe you have a little more in the bank. And then what we learn is that people aren't really motivated by having more cash in the bank, right? So it's stretching those dreams and those goals, but then breaking it down to prove that you can actually reach them, that they're not just high in the sky goals, right? And it's also about surrounding yourself with people who have done it before, so that they can show you other ways, because the traditional way of making money doesn't get you to the multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, 8-figure incomes, right? They're not, traditional get a high paying job is not going to get you where you want to be. And even if it's a really high paying job, like $400,000, $500,000 salary, those are the first people on the chopping block when the company's having problems. So, those aren't the safest jobs either. So getting to this, creating what this vision is, and then actually breaking it down, because if you don't know how many calls it takes or emails it takes to eventually get to a deal, then how do you know what you're supposed to do today? What are you doing today? And then the answer is, I don't know. Never thought of it like that. So if you want to know what you need to do today, right now, before the end of the day, or in the next 2 hours, to get to your goal in 5 years or 1 year, you really have to break these numbers down. And then it actually, it could be overwhelming if you don't, it will be overwhelming if you don't have these numbers. Oh, there he is. Hey, boo. You want to say hi? I'm doing my meeting with my salespeople. Do you want to say hi? I'll come out when I'm done, okay? I know. Give me a kiss. Say hi. No, we can't sit here. I gotta do my meeting. Boo. Okay. Well, all right. He's going. All right. Ugh. All right. You want to sit with me and do it? The beauty of live television. So this is real life, people, right? Okay, so if you want to know what you need to do right now to get to your goals, you really got to have these numbers. And once you have them, your plan's going to be so much simpler, to get to where you want to be. It's not going to be this overwhelming goal that you look at every day and don't know how you're actually going to get there. Okay, scene change. We're going into marketing minute. Can you say that? Say marketing minute. No, it doesn't want it. Too early. It's too early. You have a 2-hour delay because of the snow. So what I'm doing, okay, so this might be a like kooky to some of you, but really I wanted to share with you what's working with me in Marketing Minute this week, or this now, forever, in my whole life, has been creating vision boards. Okay, now I know that might sound like real, like hoity, woo-woo to some of you, but I've been creating vision boards probably since I was 20, like literally since I graduated college. Like that day I graduated, and then I was like, what do I do with my life? I learned somewhere to create a vision board, or write down all the things that you want to do and then put it away and let the universe do what it needs to do to get you there. So if you don't know what a vision board is, then look it up. There's probably tons of videos on how to make them and all that, and we'll probably do that as a motivation minute. But for Marketing Minute, I wanted to let you know that I really do feel like I get a lot of my business and the opportunities that I get involved in are because they were on my vision board first. And you see money, you want it, don't you? So I'm looking at my vision board right now over there across, and I did, let's see, like the one I did when I was 21, for instance, I had all these things on there that I wanted to do in my life. Like I thought it was gonna take my whole life to achieve these things. And then one thing happened after another, and like 6 months later, I pulled it out of my journal, and over half of them were already completed. And I had no idea how they were going to get done, when they were going to done. I just knew that they were things I wanted to do. So for instance, I had this like really strong urge to go to Asia. I was like, I have to go to Asia. I just want to go to Asia. And then I had random things on there like, I want to learn how to surf. I want to learn how to crochet or knit. I want to learn, just like all these things I wanted to do, like things I wanted to do and learn in my life. Well, I was at the gym probably lose weight too. That's like always on my vision board. So I was at the gym, you know, trying to accomplish one of my goals. And I met someone who, you know, it was an old friend from high school. And so we started talking at the gym, and we'd meet each other every so often at the Stairmaster. And one day he just says to me, he goes, yeah, we just booked a trip to Bali next month, me and my friend. And I was like, Bali, where's that? Well, no, I didn't even ask him where it was because I didn't want to sound like an idiot because I never knew where it was. So I went home and I looked on the globe. Tony, you gotta get out of my frame, baby. You're in my frame. So I went and I looked on the globe, and it was literally on the other side of the world. So, and guess where it was? In Asia. But a part of Asia I never thought I would be going to, you know, in Indonesia. So that now I'm obsessed with this idea, right? Of going to this place in the complete opposite side of the world from where I was. So the next time I saw him, I said, I'm going to ask him if I could go. No, that's pretty presumptuous. But we were talking about it again, and I was like, you know, we were talking about his trip, and I was like, would it be cool, like, if I tagged along? And he was like, yes, of course, that would be awesome, da-da-da-da-da. So that's how I ended up going to Bali and Asia, and we didn't even end up, I mean, we only connected for about a week there, and I stayed another few weeks on my own, and, you know, went to Hong Kong, you know, before that, and got to see those places. So, but also while I was in Bali, guess what's like really popular sport down there? Surfing. So I learned how to surf. Well, I will not say I am a surfer, but I learned how to surf in Bali. And then when I came home, I went on an acting tour, and guess what I learned on tour? How to crochet, because one of the girls on tour was a huge crocheter. So every, you know, city we'd go to, there's always a Walmart, and we'd grab some yarn and crochet. So these are some of the crazy things that can happen when you put stuff down on your board that without knowing how you're going to do it and without putting like conscious wheels in motion to make it happen, but eventually it'll happen. So I have vision boards for my business too, and I made one in November and then another one in January. And here's what'll happen when you do it. The first thing you'll notice is that some of the things on your board you can actually do right now, or without much effort in the terms of like money or any like massive changes in your life. Like, look at it and go, wait a second, I can do that now. Okay. So you check things off right away because of the things that you can do, but didn't realize it until you saw it on paper. And then, you know, there are at least six or seven things already that have been checked off that list that I thought were like 2-3 year plans. But because I put it on my list, things started to go into motion. And then when they showed up for me, I was more aware that like, yes, this is something I want. Say yes, say yes, say yes. So, and also getting in the habit of saying yes, which is what we're going to talk about in our rejection section. All right. What else do I want to say about vision board? So anyway, so we'll talk about how to create one for your business soon, but that's honestly truly what's working for me right now. I know they don't teach that in business school. I know I teach a lot of MBA students at Wharton, and they don't teach, making vision boards for your business. But there are these underground kind of coaching and business building groups, and that is actually what people talk about offline when they're maybe not in the public eye about how they built their business, and using what's called the law of attraction to help you get what you want, even if you don't know how you're going to get there. And a big part of that is once you decide what you want is being open and aware of what's coming to you that will help you get there, and then saying yes. This is an exercise I do with my sales teams that help people understand how to get over rejection Because of course we're marketing and we're presenting all the time and we're hearing the word no a lot. And that is a really hard word to deal with. And it's not because it's 2 letters and people aren't going like, no, you're annoying, get out of my face, Maybe once in a while you get some real crabby person do that. But mostly it's just people saying, no thanks, not interested, right? But why does it hurt so much? Well, the reason is because think about the word no and how, we've talked about how most of your beliefs are formed before you're the age of 5, which is he's 5. So he's forming most of his beliefs about the world right now, right? So to him, working is mommy making videos while he sits in the chair behind her. That's going to be one of the beliefs that he makes about the world. So most of your beliefs are formed before you're 5. Now think about what the word no means when you're 5 years old. Tony, when I say no to you, how does it make you feel?
Bad.
Why?
Because I want to do something and I don't get to do it.
If you couldn't hear him, he said because it makes him feel bad because he wants to do something and he doesn't get to do it. What about when you're in trouble and I say, no, don't do that? How does that make you feel?
Bad.
Why? It makes him feel bad. Why? When you hit your brother and I say, no, how does it make you feel?
Bad.
Why?
Because I get in timeout.
Because you get in timeout? Because why? Why do you get timeout?
Because I want to brother.
And is that right? A good thing or a bad thing to do?
Bad thing.
A bad thing to do. So, okay, you're hearing it from the source. How did he know he was supposed to come in on this meeting today? Everything happens for a reason. So, the word no, when your beliefs about the world and the beliefs about yourself are being formed, means that you did something bad, right?
Yeah.
I try to use the word danger instead of no when they're about to actually do something dangerous, because screaming out, I try not to scream out the word no, so they don't have that association with the word no. But no always means that, they really want to do something and they can't do it, but really deep down they have a really negative connotation to it, because usually when I scream the word no, it's because they did something bad, right? So when someone says no to you off a presentation you made or an offer that you made to them, how does that make you feel? Exactly. Why? Not because you did something wrong. I mean, you were there probably to help them solve a problem, but they still said no. And so you can't help it. It's not your fault. This is how you were designed, and this is how your brain works and your emotions and your associations and all that. So when you hear the word no, it has a really deep feeling of rejection, and not being rejected by anybody, but being rejected by your parents, who are the most important thing in the world to you, especially at that age. So know that that's actually what's going on when you hear the word no. Now, can you see why people might have call resistance? You have this term of call resistance. It's not because they're, don't expect people to say no and not need their help right now. It's because whether they can communicate it or not, which most people can't, most people have no idea this is how their brains work. They can't communicate that, and even if they could, they're not going to tell you, but I don't want to make 200 calls today because someone's going to tell me that I was a bad girl. But somewhere deep inside, that's actually what's happening, the little ego part of you that's protecting you. So how do we get over this? Oh my gosh, there's an actual exercise that we can do, that I do with my people. And if you're a sales manager, you could do this with your team. It's really fun. Okay, so get a $100 bill. Tony, did you know you picked up the 10 and not the 100? What have I been teaching you?
I think Mom, why do you have a 100 bill though?
Because I'm doing a demonstration. I'm doing an example. Don't chop it. This is gold. So, stop. So you put up, you get a $100 bill, and you go around the room. And if you're doing this as an exercise, a salesperson, then you're gonna go, by the way, I know only about 7% of people are actually going to do this. How do I know that? Because only about 7% of people, at least in the US, become financially free at some point in their life. So, or less, you know? So only 7% of people are actually willing to do what it takes to be successful. So be that 7%. Don't be one of those people that go, oh yeah, that's nice, I get the point, but I'm not gonna do it. Or, oh yeah, that sounds stupid, I'm not gonna do it, okay? Because that's exactly why you're not reaching your goals. I hate to be the one to break that to you, but the 7% of people are like the ones raising their hand right away. Yeah, I'll do it, count me in. You said that something will make me successful, I'll do it. So we take the $100 bill, Tony's face on it, and we go around the room. We say, who wants this $100 bill? And you're going to take a $100 bill. Well, make it something you can actually part with. So maybe you're willing to part with 10 and not 100. That's okay. Whatever it is that you're actually willing to give away. And you go, who wants this $10 bill? Who wants this $100 bill? You can't, if you're going to sit there, you can't distract people. Okay? Maybe we'll have to test them on how focused they are. So you take the $100 bill and you offer it to people. You go, you want a $100 bill? And 9 out of 10 people are going to say no, or they're going to be skeptical, or they're going to wonder if it's real. They're going to wonder if it's a trick. They're going to wonder if there's a catch to it, right? And maybe you are one of those people that would be like, okay, weirdo, no, where's the hidden camera? So what this teaches us, first of all, from a salesperson's perspective of someone trying to get over this idea of hearing no, it helps you understand the real meaning of the word no, and that it really does have nothing to do with you. Okay, you're giving something away, a real value, right? You know, no matter what, today at least, this is $100 American. You know it's real, and you know that whoever says yes will actually take it, and you're not gonna take it away from them. Okay, so you know that you're giving away something of value that is real. You have total belief in this. Now you might not have total belief in your product and service, so that's something that you might need to work on if that's the case. But if you do have total belief in what you're offering and it's of value and you're really there to help people, then how does it feel when they say no? A lot different, right? Instead of you feeling bad that you did something wrong by offering it to them, you think, well, this person's a little crazy. I don't know what's wrong with them. They don't want $100. Something wrong with them. And you're right. There's something wrong with them because most people are trained to be skeptical and to say no, especially to money. That's why a relationship with money is such an important part of reaching our goals. No matter what dollar amount you put on your vision board or your business plan, same thing, right? Business plan, vision board. No matter what dollar amount you put on there as far as your revenue goals, if you don't have a good relationship with money, then when someone comes up to you in the street and offers to give you a $100 bill, you're going to say, no, thanks, skeptical, strings attached, and you'll actually reject the money because of your deep-seated beliefs about money, right? Like you have to work hard to earn money, okay? So if someone gives you something for totally free without exchange of anything, that's impossible, okay? So at least in your brain as what your beliefs are telling you. So you reject the money because you didn't work hard for it. Or a slew of other beliefs that you have about money that's causing you to say no to it. So how many of those, like I said, 9 out of 10 people, I'm using 9 out of 10 because the statistics in the Social Security Administration in the US say 92% of people in the US retire broke. They need either the help of friends, family, or the government just to make ends meet, right? They rely on Social Security or the government or funds from friends and family, moving in with friends and family, things like that, because they're not financially independent. Okay. So that means that 92% of people would say no to money when it came in because they haven't figured out these laws of success. So there's 2 lessons in that. The first lesson is, what does the word no mean to you? Next time you hear the word no, really understand what it actually means, that deep-seated meaning of it, and why, of course, you're not going to want to put yourself in that place of rejection. Now, some people, you have bulldozers that are like, I'll get as many no's as I want. But then the problem with that, if they haven't really identified the meaning behind the word no, it's still there, right? So the problem with bulldozing is exactly that. You're bulldozing your customers. I don't know any customer that wants to be bulldozed. So this idea of like hunter mentality and all that, it's like we are using the wrong language to talk about sales. I am not going to hunt my prey. Like my prey, or my customers are not my prey. Okay, so that lesson 1 is about the word no and handling rejection and why it's so hard to pick up the phone. That's why it's so hard to pick up the phone. Because they're not telling you no thank you. Simple. They're telling you you're not good enough. You did something wrong, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy, you're fat, you're ugly, right? All those things that you might have like a subconscious or conscious like insecurity about, all those things come out when someone says no. So that's no. And then the second part is you saying no to money or observing other people saying no to money. And that's why it's so hard. Like, you would think it would make total logical sense that if you're going to save someone money, that they'll meet with you and work with you. Who doesn't want to save money? I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 people. 9 out of 10 people are going to be skeptical when you tell them that you can save them money. It's not because you can't. It's not because you're not a good person with a great product. It's because of their deep-seated beliefs about money and their own ability to, or own worth, right? We put a number to that. Tony, you're choking me. We put a number to that, and it limits us most of the time. So if your value proposition is to save money, oh man, that is a steep hill to climb, okay? And it's not because you can't. It sounds great on paper. I'll save you $100,000 a year. I'll save you 10%. Whatever it is, people still have their own beliefs about money. So it's not only about understanding. So this is why I say human psychology is not just about understanding your customer, but it's really about understanding yourself, so that you can understand your customer. A lot of what sales like techniques and sales trainings talk so much about understanding the customer. But I believe, people are generally the same, like deep down in the core, we've all got the same crap going on in our heads. And if you know yourself well enough, you automatically understand everybody else. It's called self-awareness. Maybe some people call it enlightenment. There's lots of words. Semantics. can sometimes deter people from really getting the point. But the idea is, instead of focusing so much on trying to understand your customer and what your customer wants and like body language and all that, understand your body language first. Understand your beliefs first. Because we're all human beings here. So yes, people have different personalities and all that, but at the core, we're really all the same, struggling with all the same stuff. And you get that. Now we're all on the same level. Doesn't matter if you're talking to the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. We're all people dealing with the same stuff in our heads. All right? So with that said, if you haven't yet, join my free training, which you can grab a link to under this video, the science behind why people really buy. When you go through that, that is your portal to understanding how we can work together in other capacities, whether through the sales launch code or custom design sales playbooks or training for your teams. All right, well, I will see you next Monday. Bye. It's the Monday morning motivator with Magoch.